everyone, this is Jarrod D. King. I am happy to bring you a special treat today. I am with style influencer James B. Meredith, and we're going to talk about style, but how that influences our relationships, whether that's romantic or whether that's friendships. You know, I'm really happy to have you here, James. Why don't we first start with what you do and let the people know who you are?
Yeah, sure. So I love everything about style. To me, fashion is just the clothes you wear. And I love everything about, how many buttons are you going to unbutton? How are you going to let the clothes dress over you? What is the vibe, right?
Yeah.
To me, the style is about the character that you're making and not about the outfit.
So are you kind of putting yourself into different modes when depending on how you're dressing yourself for the day, basically?
Yeah, so it's no secret that style is your personality, right? But you don't just have one personality. You have all these different slices that make up who you are, right? And so when you're in work mode, what do you look like? When you're having fun, what do you look like?
Right.
When you're relaxing, what do you look like? Those are all different styles, and it's a way for us to express who we are in those different scenarios.
Okay.
And so that's what I really love. It's just a way to express myself. I feel like I'm just a creator at heart, not just because I'm online, but just because I like to make things. I like thinking of ideas, just making them real. And so expressing myself is just really provided me a lot of happiness in life. So.
Awesome. I love that. I don't know if anybody watching is even aware that I did a fashion blog. I actually stopped doing the fashion blog because I wasn't so interested in writing about fashion. I was more interested in kind of like styling myself. I think that was the aspect of it that I thought was a little bit more intriguing to me. Have you ever done anything else aside from kind of styling yourself? Or have you been kind of focused on that lane? And how did you really get into the whole men's style?
Yeah, so for me, it all really started with one photo. And it was back in 2021. I was going through a rough patch, just one of life's many ups and downs, But at this time, I was really struggling to find something that I could get happiness from, or at least I couldn't get happy or feel happy from all the things that I was doing and that I already loved. So at this point, things like fitness and working out, people say it makes you feel better. It wasn't making me feel better, and I was already doing it for years. And so I found myself kind of struggling to, I guess, just have that vigor for life again. And just feel excited about something. So I was on my phone and just scrolling through old photos, and every time I would come across a photo of me, I hated it. And I'm like, why don't I have one good photo?
I think a lot of people have that issue sometimes.
No, everyone's their own worst critic, right? So I decided, photography is something that I really enjoyed as a kid. I just never really pursued it because I didn't think there's a career in it. And right about the time I went to college, I just kind of haven't touched the camera. So I figured, whatever, I have a camera, I have a tripod. I'm just going to grab it and go take my own picture. And if I want it done right, better do it yourself, right? So I grabbed my camera and threw on something to wear and drove out to a spot. I was super nervous. I was afraid someone was going to see me, with the camera and the tripod all by myself. But no, I was sitting there and I was just letting the camera snap some things off, and I took a look at the camera right after, and it kind of was like this eye-opening experience, because for the first time ever, I was able to see myself in the same light that so many people create online. And it's so unfair to look in the mirror and then compare yourself to that. But I was just able to kind of recreate, this emotion that I was feeling at the time that I took the photo. And it was just this really careless photograph of me. I really don't know how else to describe it but to show you. And I was just looking off in the distance, sitting on the curb, and it was great because I never could really show off my style because I never went anywhere. I was always just in this cycle of going to work, going home. And for the first time now, it's like, okay, I can actually show people I have these clothes in this sense of style, and I can express who I am. So I think a lot of people would really benefit from learning how to actually look the way they want in a photograph, just so they can see it for themselves. And it gives them just it gave me a huge confidence boost.
Now, I know with my own journey with my personal style, I had to make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes I was out here looking like a fool. I'm just letting y'all know. But I feel like you kind of have to try things. You kind of have to taste things. Have you had your own kind of like growing pains as far as kind of finding your personal style?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is really just figuring out what you actually like. Because in the journey of finding your style, you're really just finding yourself. And so, you see something that you like on like a movie or in music or wherever, and you think it's you just because you like it. And it's not really always the case. So I find myself dressing a particular way because you see others doing it, and I had no other direction. Like, what else do I do other than what I see? Right. And it's only over time that I developed a better sense of who I am, that I can actually pick apart the things that really represent me. And once you find your style, it's like the most amazing thing. It's if you ever looked in the mirror and put something on and you kind of had a feeling that was very similar to how you would feel when you listen to your favorite song. Yeah. Yeah. So to me, that's how I knew I found my style. Gotcha. It's kind of like, you just feel it. You just, all over.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, we're both living in Philly. It's definitely not a fashion capital of the world. Nobody thinks of Philly as on the same level of like a New York or like a Tokyo.
I've heard we had the best fashion school.
Best fashion school. Okay.
Yes, that's what I've been told. And that a lot of people actually come down from New York just to go to school here.
What school? Do you know what school?
I think it's...
Is it Art Institute?
I think.
Okay. Yeah. Art Institute of Philadelphia. Okay. I mean, I know I had a friend who actually went there for fashion design. So as far as putting the clothes together, that would be one thing. But about like putting them on ourselves, I feel like what we value in Philly is kind of the everyman kind of look. I don't know. There's just a lack of standing out in Philly. There are some people who are definitely have the fashion thing going on. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely. There are a lot of us out here, but I think it's like few and far between, at least in Philly. It's very t-shirt, hoodie, jeans, very, understated. Yeah. No, my question to you is it hard to kind of be a stylish guy and kind of stand out in this general area?
Yeah, so I definitely know what you're talking about. A lot of people are very bland, I guess you could say. Yeah. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think there's a lot of value in being able to just not care how you look and to just have this grace and go out in public and not feel like anyone's judging you. Right. But I think a lot of people just don't feel the need to, honestly. Like whenever I've asked anyone, or if they've, asked me, why are you dressing the way you do? And it's like, because I enjoy it. Yeah. And I'm like, why don't you? And they'll just say, like, I just want to be comfortable. Yeah. Like, why are you not comfortable in everything you own? Like, why would you buy it if it's not comfy? But I don't know. I think there just are a lot of lazy people. There are people that might just not be very aware, and they might actually think they're stylish. Nobody has to be, really interested in fashion and style, but I think just taking care of yourself, being healthy, that's really all we need to do to look good. So if it's a lazy day and you just want to throw on a t-shirt, great, like do it. I would do it. But every now and then, expressing yourself can make wonders in someone's life.
I think so too. Like, do you ever feel a little bit judged?
In what sense?
In the sense that, oh, this guy's doing too much, like...
Yeah, so absolutely. So, like, even my own close personal friends, like, they always tease me, but we're just buddies. Just because they know I like to sometimes put together an outfit that's a little bit more than what they would do. Every time we'd get together, it's a very casual event. So I already know that, like, they're not worried about how they look, but a lot of times before I was even online, I would still, put together a nice outfit because I don't have that many opportunities to. Now, not so much the case, but I don't think anyone has really been turned off by how I've dressed. And, like a woman never came up to me and said, I can't believe you look like that, and just walked away. That has never happened. I do hope, however, that it does filter out some people. Yeah. Because if it is truly my style, it should be my personality. And I hope that it filters out the people that don't connect with me. Got you. And so, yeah. I
think that's a good way to put it. It's like if you're being if you're kind of like standing in kind of like who you are and, you know, how you like to present yourself, the people who are not going to be into that are not necessarily the people for you anyway. So it's not like you have to try so hard to be likable to anybody else, you know, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so,
it's always just for yourself.
Yeah.
Even like if you're going to work out, you got to do it for yourself, not others, right?
Right. As a fashion influencer, do you feel pressured into always looking your best?
Yes, but it's not because I'm online. I've felt like that my entire life.
Okay.
From an early age, I don't know if I just became self-aware before many others, and I was just very conscious of how I looked. It didn't really start with clothes for me. I guess it would probably be my hair.
Okay.
I was one of those kids that never would let anyone touch their hair. I was really, really like stubborn about it. Even though the haircut was terrible. But yeah,
well,
no.
I mean, the hair is beautiful now. I mean,
Thank
like,
you.
I don't know if you've looked at the picture, but
you and me both then. Thank you.
Thanks.
But no, yeah, I think it's just something that is ingrained in me. And it's just important that I present myself the way that I guess I feel comfortable. I would like to be seen. It's no secret that people judge us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's ingrained into every human to just profile everyone just so, you know, like, is the person in front of me a threat? You know what I mean? So those little messages matter, and it affects just different relationships. And so I'm always conscious about those sorts of things.
Got you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like when I was doing fashion, I felt like, okay, now I have to be like this guy who like never looks bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, and I guess you don't necessarily have that issue, which is a good thing, because I know sometimes people can get into the trap of not even being seen wearing the same thing twice or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like that? Or
a little bit? I guess it's more so the case when you go to work or school or something like that, where you actually see the same people every single day. I'm a big advocate for re-wearing something. So if it's a shirt or a jacket, I'll wear it throughout the week. I'll just style it different ways. To me, that's a different outfit.
Okay.
I bought it for a reason, right? I want to wear it. So don't just wear it once and throw it back in the closet. Yeah. But I don't know. How about you? Like, do you feel that way often, or?
Okay, so I have some things that are a little bit like, as soon as you walk in the room, like you see it or you see me, and so I'm like, all right, this is going to be what I wear like for the one time out of the year, but I will rewear it like next year. Like, so
really bold items you want to
spread out. Like,
it's so noticeable, I guess.
Right.
So I know what you mean. Yeah. But I have this one purple bomber jacket. It's like velvet. You can't miss it. But I wish I could wear it all the time. But it's just
yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, like those items, like you can get away with it once or twice, but like put it away for 2024. Like leave it into next year.
Exactly.
How have your relationships changed as a result of your style?
Yeah, so I definitely noticed people treating me differently, but more so people who haven't met me yet. And not so much the people that already know me. The people that know me, they're like, hey, you do you. Whatever it is, they've always been supportive. I have great friends, family, and I'm fortunate for that. But people who I would meet for the first time, I would notice the first impression was different. Okay. And like even at work, like people just think I'm more credible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I wouldn't say there was any negative effects from changing my style. It was definitely interesting for me to experience trying to be stylish around other people who maybe aren't, or really, and not that they're not stylish or they don't look good, but they don't really think of it as a hobby almost. Like I think of fashion and style as a hobby. Right. And so they would kind of, you know, be like, what are you doing? You know,
It's like,
who are you trying to impress today?
Yeah. I've definitely had that at work one time.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you doing? I was like, I just like to look nice. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable, but yeah. Yeah, no, but I mean, if anyone ever got emotional over clothes or something you wore, they're the ones with the problem, not you. Right. So fashion police, they're dead in 2023. Right. Yeah. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a controversial question, and you let me know if you're uncomfortable. But I feel like the expectation of men who dress well, the impression is that they are gay. Basically.
Yes. So even when I was a lot younger, I was wearing skinny jeans in middle school before it was even cool. So I never jumped on that train. I've been on it. So, back then, like, guys would think, you know, are you gay? And I'm like, no, man, I'm straighter than a line. And they're like, well, like, where are your balls? And I'm like, they're right in here. You want to see? Like,
skinny jeans back in the day were a little bit controversial.
Yeah. Now, not so much, even though right now people don't seem to like them. But I'm going to tell you, just like slim and skinny jeans are timeless, and just the world's just not really ready to hear it yet.
Yeah. Look, I agree with you.
But no, I don't know why that stigma really exists, because there's no factual evidence to
right.
Okay, this guy likes men, this guy likes women. Why can't they both look good?
I mean, I'm gay, newsflash, but I tend to see a lot of gay guys who will do the regular kind of like jeans t-shirt, and it's like the way that you dress doesn't necessarily correlate, you know. So it's just interesting that a lot of people have that impression.
Mm-hmm. But I have seen it. Like I would receive more attention from just men who like men, and I'm just like, hey, thank you. I take it just as much as a compliment as anyone else. Right. Just tells me I'm doing something right, I guess. Women are definitely always to themselves more. They really don't catcall like men do.
No.
But in today's age, all men, regardless of what you like, need to put a little bit more emphasis on their physical appearance, whether it's the clothes, the hair, just how like fit you are, and are you being healthy, taking care of yourself. It's almost a requirement because of how competitive the world is. And then you see more stuff on the internet, and it's there's no shortage of beautiful people in the world.
And I think that that's one of the blockages that a lot of guys get, at least for straight men, and you know, let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's one of the things that kind of stops guys from exploring a more fashionable appearance, at least in the U.S. I mean, I don't know, like in other countries, maybe it's a little bit less of a barrier.
It's really interesting if you've ever looked at other countries and what their fashion's like. It's actually a really great way to get some inspiration. But for the most part, if you're trying to attract a particular person or group of people, it's really useful to actually just look at that group and see, how do they dress? What are they into? And then you just match that vibe. But you shouldn't change who you are just to attract someone else. Right. So a lot of times people will ask me, like, James, like, I like this girl, what should I wear to like attract her? And I'm like, well, you should just dress however you'd like to dress, and then she'll judge if you're a good match for her or not, and then it'll work out or not. Or you can just copy her vibe, and she'll probably connect with that because it's relatable. Like if she's always wearing black and listens to heavy metal music, then you should probably be the same kind of person. But
like not change your whole personality.
No, never do that. It's I don't think you would feel well. You probably couldn't be confident in that. Even if it was a cool outfit and you just didn't connect with it, you're not going to feel confident.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I think I have like one more question for you.
Yeah.
What advice can you give to people who are trying to find their personal style as a way to increase their confidence?
So there's a lot of things I could say.
Okay.
The biggest thing is definitely men just have to do something different. If you had the same haircut, you had the same style, if you shop at the same store for an extended period of time, like 6 months to a year, it's time to go somewhere else. Try something new. My favorite styles, my best outfits, and the times I get the most compliments are when I'm wearing something I never thought I would wear. Definitely try something new. And also stop listening to everybody on the internet that does fashion content. And even though I fit in that category, if you go on like YouTube, it's like, wear this, don't wear this. Says who?
Right.
Nobody is actually qualified to tell anyone what to wear, not even a fashion designer, because they can go design their clothes, but those are their clothes, not my clothes, right? Try and find yourself. And in that journey, you're going to figure out what your style is. Okay. Just going back to your roots, what kind of music did you like? How about when you were really young and maybe, you didn't like stay with something? Well, go back, see if you still like it. How are those people dressing? I think if you just follow like basic rules, like color theory, what colors generally look good, then you're probably going to be pretty safe no matter what you wear. Proportions, pay attention to that, like the silhouette of your body is really the most important thing. That's really what the fit is. It's what's the shape of your body. Shopping online, figure out why you think a particular clothing piece actually looks good on the model or in the photo. And it's usually because, again, it fits them better than most people. It's like, okay, well, their chest is wider, their arms are bigger, and they actually fill the sleeves. Or maybe they have really long arms, and it just kind of accentuates it could be whatever. But everybody can really make a huge improvement if they just, follow the steps, take care of themselves, and just have fun with it. Like that's it. You have to have fun with it.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's some great advice that we got there. Where can people find you online if they want to follow you?
Yeah. So you can follow me anywhere on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's James B. Meredith. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the interview and for coming and giving us all of your wisdom and your story. I appreciate it. And hopefully you all got some unique insights from that can help you in your journey as to looking your best and feeling your best and kind of going out there and making those great connections that you're looking for. So once again, I'm Jarrod D. King, and I will see you next time.